About Miz TV, we were talking a little bit about that. You did a show with John Morrison, so that gave you some experience. You also were in the Real World MTV reality show, really start getting your name, your brand out there. What's it been like going from these different shows, and how much of a base did the Real World give you to do shows like this?
The Real World gave me the opportunity to be in front of a camera, to get comfortable with cameras, and to be able to talk to them anytime, anywhere. And I would just sit there and just cut promos all day long in the Real World house. So then moving on and going on to being the host of Friday Night SmackDown also taught me, how to feel the crowd. When you're going out there for the first time and you're in front of 16,000 live fans, it's a completely different world than just staring in front of a camera. So takes some getting used to. And then once you have your own talk show, if you ever watch people that first start their talk shows, you watch the Conan O'Briens or the Jimmy Fallons, when they first start, you're like, it's okay, but it's not what it is right now, because now they're seasoned vets, they got a flow, they know what they're doing. And that's what the dirt sheet kind of gave me. The dirt sheet with John Morrison allowed me to really get a grasp on how to make a talk show flow, how to make it good and catchy and snappy and entertaining. And so when I did Miz TV, it takes a little bit, 1 or 2 episodes to really get it down, and now I feel like I have a good flow to where I'm like, all right, I know what I'm doing, and I'll keep it flow snappy, keep it entertaining, and make it as fun as possible.
What have you learned from your experiences so far? You see The Rock will do you smell what The Rock is cooking. Someone will have their own little catchphrase.
Really?
Catchphrase?
Really?
The catchphrase.
Yes. Yeah, the catchphrase.
So you're doing really. You're doing I'm awesome.
I'm on the Miz and I'm awesome. I'm the most must-see WWE superstar of all time. Welcome to the most must-see WWE talk show in history. Welcome to Miz TV. These are all catchphrases, things that people get into, and people can really be like, wow, they can get into, they can react to it. Anytime I say I'm the Miz and they'll say it. When I say really, they'll say really back. It gets the crowd into what you're doing, and that's what it's all about. It's embracing the crowd and allowing them to be a part of the show.
The idea for I'm the Miz and I'm awesome and really, were those something you came up with? Was that also a combination effort?
Yeah. After I got done with John Morrison, I was like, man, I need a new catchphrase, because I've always enjoyed catchphrases. Everyone's catchphrase, I love them. So I was like, all right, I got to think of a new one. And I was like, I think it was Transformers, and a guy said, just randomly, he was just like, yeah, I'm awesome. And I was like, that's great. So I remember writing this promo, basically after everything I said, saying, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, and Vince going to me saying, and I was, what people consider a bad guy. It's just like, yeah, but what you're doing, you're winning, and you're doing this and this and this. You really are awesome. So I don't want you saying that. So I was like, all right, fine. So I kept it in my back pocket. So when I was thinking of a new catchphrase, I was like, I'm gonna use I'm awesome. And I was talking with one of the bouncing ideas off people, and I was like, maybe I should say it. I was like, I'm just gonna say I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. And the first time I said it, I was like,
thank you so much.
That's okay, But then I said it again, and people were getting into it, and I was like, oh, maybe this is something. And then I said it again, and then it was like, oh, people are getting into it. And then finally, people were there. With the realies, me and my friends always are like, it was just always one of those things, someone would be like, really?
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 Really? And then the fans started getting involved with it, and Morrison was the one that said, dude, you should ask them a question. Ask the fans a question. Do you all think we suck? Yes. Really? Yes. Really? Yes. Really? Well, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of like that. So that's kind of where it all escalated.
Raw is celebrating their 20th anniversary. It's amazing that this show, I don't think people understand, have a TV show on for 20 years and to keep it interesting year after year. It's just amazing. What are your thoughts of just the success of WWE and the Raw show?
It's incredible. To sit there and have 20 years being the longest, weekly episodic, yada, yada, show in history. It's incredible. The memories that people have of it. It's funny. We'll meet kids and their fathers and their mothers that have memories of events that that I've been in and certain things that I've been in that they remember, that they can talk about and relate to one another. You know, I remember going overseas with Iraq, going over there for our Tribute to the Troops tour, and one of the guys was like, the one thing, you know, me and my son, we don't really have anything in common, but the one thing we have in common is wrestling, and that's the one thing we can talk about. And that's what it's all about. You know, bringing families together, putting smiles on people's faces and entertaining them. And that's what WWE has done for the past 20 years and hopefully for the next 20 years.